Welcome to Breaking Storm's U.S. News Channel. A climate catastrophe of biblical proportions is unfolding right now across South Asia. The relentless monsoon rains have unleashed a deluge, submerging vast swathes of both India and Pakistan. Entire villages have been erased from the map. Millions are displaced. And in a dramatic geopolitical twist, the fury of nature was preceded by a stark official warning from one nuclear-armed nation to another. We break down the perfect storm of extreme weather, the critical warning India issued to Pakistan, and the devastating human cost on both sides of the border. This is a story of survival, diplomacy, and the escalating power of our planet's storms. First, let's get to the science. What's causing this? This isn't just a typical heavy monsoon. We're looking at a confluence of extreme weather events. Warmer air over the Arabian Sea is holding unprecedented amounts of moisture. That moisture is being funneled northward and dumped as torrential, record-shattering rainfall over the Himalayan foothills. This water then cascades down, overwhelming the intricate network of rivers that flow through both nations. The ground, already saturated, cannot absorb any more water. The result is catastrophic, fast-moving flash floods that have caught millions by surprise. To the crucial diplomatic development. Days before the floodwaters peaked in Pakistan, the Indian government issued an official warning to its neighbor. This was not an act of aggression, but one of necessary protocol. The immense volume of water gathering behind major dams in Indian Punjab reached critically dangerous levels. To prevent a catastrophic failure of these dams, which would have been an even worse disaster, authorities had no choice but to conduct controlled releases of the excess water. Under the terms of the Indus Waters Treaty, a decades-old agreement that governs water sharing between the two nations, India is obligated to share data on water flows. This warning gave Pakistani authorities downstream a vital, albeit short, window to evacuate communities living along the banks of key rivers. Essentially, India was saying, a massive wall of water is coming your way. Get your people to safety. The scale of destruction is almost unimaginable. Let's look at the impacts nation by nation. In Pakistan, the released water, combined with their own torrential rains, has created a crisis of epic proportions. Reports indicate that over one-third of the country is underwater. Major cities are facing severe urban flooding. The agricultural heartland, the country's breadbasket, is submerged, raising fears of a nationwide food shortage. Early estimates suggest thousands have died and over 30 million people are affected. In India, the situation is equally dire. The northern mountainous states have been the hardest hit. Days of relentless rain have triggered devastating landslides that have wiped out entire communities and critical highways. The capital, New Delhi, saw its main river breach a 45-year record, flooding key infrastructure. Across India, the death toll is in the hundreds and millions are displaced. In both nations, the immediate threats are drowning and landslides. But the secondary crisis is just beginning, the risk of waterborne diseases like cholera and typhoid, the destruction of homes and livelihoods, and a long, painful road to recovery that will take years and billions of dollars. This disaster is a textbook example of how climate change is amplifying weather patterns. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, which means when it rains, it pours. The monsoons are becoming less about prolonged drizzle and more about short, intense, catastrophic downpours. These events are no longer natural disasters alone, they are climate-fueled disasters. The immediate need is for international humanitarian aid, food, clean water, medicine, and shelter. But long-term, this disaster underscores two brutal truths. First, that climate change is a threat multiplier, devastating the most vulnerable populations first and hardest. And second, that even amidst historical tensions, nature forces a level of cooperation. India's warning to Pakistan, while a technical obligation, undoubtedly saved lives and represents a fragile thread of diplomacy in a flood of chaos. The waters will eventually recede, but the scars on the landscape and on the people of India and Pakistan will remain for a generation. For continued coverage on this developing crisis and storm alerts from around the world, Stay with us on Breaking Storms US News Channel. Thank you.